quickly.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Footy Fantasy Podcast. We'll be doing the EPL review. Before we jump in, tell you where you can find us. You can find us on Twitter. If you like Twitter battles, trolls, I'm there. Come at me at Footy AD Fantasy. We're on Instagram at Fantasy Footy. FWOTIE is the Footy. If you like podcasts, you can find us on the Footy Fantasy Podcast. And we're on Facebook as Extraordinary Footy Fans. Our YouTube channel, where the full video will be on, is called Footy Fantasy. It's going to be 2 words, Footy space Fantasy. Ovie is here to present Arsenal and give us a quick lowdown. And also, Buchi is joining us as always, part of the team. Ovie, let's dive right in.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be here.
The reason why Arsenal, did not do this, I guess, the treble over Liverpool, because you beat them twice now. So
yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was a good game, good reality check. For any of those who were thinking we are ready to win the league, just hold off a bit. We're still a long way to go. It was a good game. The tactics were pretty clear. We knew what we were going to get from the game. But in that particular formation, for you to be able to win against a team like Liverpool, you need everybody to be on point. You need some luck. You need, to take your chances when you get them. So I think overall, the fact that we considered that the first goal so early after we scored was the moment we lost the game, because I feel like if you had held on for a little bit longer, more spaces will open as Liverpool get desperate to equalize, and then maybe you could have taken advantage of that. So some of the players didn't look fully fit. Tierney didn't look fully fit. Some of the players didn't look like they were really up for it, like the way they should be in that kind of game plan. Hector Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, Mobile did not get enough chances I don't remember having a good chance on goal. Laka had a good chance. He scored the first one. He missed the next one. Like all good strikers, you miss good chances sometimes. It happens. So midfield personnel looked like Ceballos came on. He was hungry. It looked like maybe he should have started. It brought some dynamism, brought some movement, it brought creativity. So that was a good question. But centre back, we've got new young defenders. Integrating them is not going to be easy. I know some people would have felt, oh, Gabriel should have started. Maybe not. We don't know. But overall, I think like the defense has been improved. It might take them a few months to a year to get to see them really. But we need upgrades in the midfield. There's no doubt about that. We need to upgrade our midfield. And with the 2-3 chances we had today with a better midfield, maybe it could have been 5 or 6 chances, and then maybe a different outcome. So overall, the steps are in forward direction, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So he needs all the help here, but I think everybody's fully behind Arteta now. So we know he's a special manager and he's leading the club in the right way.
You're too measured, Ovie. You call me because you're measured analysis. As far as I know, I was extremist. I'm expecting you to tell me that this is title number 14 on the horizon. Tell me that you're the Champions League that people say you want to win in 3 years. Give me all this measured analysis. I don't like to measure analysis.
You picked the wrong fan for this.
Well, like I said, for me, I feel like you've come in now. I think that's had a few months. This season, we need to be in Champions League. You need to be making top 4. The only 2 teams I feel like should easily make top for the other teams is a scrap for every other team. So if he wants to prove that he's a top manager, he needs to be in the top 4 this season. Next season, we can start talking about the league. But for this season, top 4. He should be there. Champions League, we need to be in the Champions League.
Next season league? Did I just hear next season league?
You got to start from somewhere. So first make Champions League, make top 4, get extra money.
You brought the right Arsenal fan.
You got to start from somewhere. You have to dream big too.
It's good to dream big. It's good to dream big. Well, Arsenal, I saw the game. I think in between work, I was making glasses at the game. I think Liverpool just, when you go to Anfield, it's baptism of fire. Just like Arteta said, when you go to Anfield, at most, for the last 2, as sad and as annoying as it is to see as a Manchester United fan, at most when you go to Anfield, even when they were not this good, if I remember the days when we were dominating, in Anfield, maximum you get 4 or 5 games. So I said you get 4 or 5 chances. Like Arteta said, they in the big games, they get up for the big games, and it's like maximum they suffocate you when you go to Anfield. Like
Yeah.
Anfield is one place that in recent times when I'm going, I just look at the calendar, I just like, yeah, I just back it there. We're dropping points. Either we lose or we draw. I don't bother about Anfield. I'm just like, yeah, we're going to drop points there. It's normal. But yeah, I think you guys are going in the right direction. I want to blow my own trumpet as one of the few people that called it that Arteta was a good coach way back in January. I called it, just like regular average Joe Iron just walking on the streets. I saw it as like this guy is a good manager. And some people, I'm not going to name names, were coming from me.
The early signs were there.
They're coming for me saying I was getting too carried away, but it's okay. It's okay. Buchi, let's go to you. Tell us about night number 21 is on the horizon. This is how we started. The last time we won the league, we lost our first game. That's what happened. We lost the first game to Everton. I remember. Fellaini scored against us. We won. We struggled.
Are you all right? do you have a fever? I'm just checking. I want to be sure.
Where is the show? Hey.
You have to believe
sleeping
well.
Character, our tradition. Next game we struggled. We came to beat Southampton. This could be title number 21 on the horizon. Come on, Buchi. Tell me.
To be honest,
Manchester United. Okay, let's go.
I don't know where to start. That's why I'm just here, just because if you really look at it, what is Manchester United? Which Manchester United do we see? Which one do we get? The one where because when this guy was talking about, we're gonna win the league next season, that I remember when 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were that kind of things are improving. Now what I'm pointing that out is, dude, what excuse? When do you want me to start telling you that Brighton outplayed Manchester United, had more possession, had more chances, hit the bar 5 times, had the game make a last-minute save, and the keeper did not actually make too many world-class saves. Manchester United did not miss too many chances. Yeah. Now why I'm pointing this out is that it can happen. Brighton is a good footballing team sometimes. They're usually not the team to play Manchester United out of the box. What they might do is give you a good game. Yeah. They literally made Manchester United look like Manchester United was Brighton and Brighton was Manchester United. Trotter's team was out of, they were just on a different league. And I could tell it's a one-time thing, but then I remember the Crystal Palace game.
Just because last week.
Yeah. And so normally I should come out of a last-minute win going, wow. But I won't lie to you. I felt relief. I felt happy, but I didn't rejoice. I couldn't go and troll people, for example. I couldn't go and say, I just kept quiet because I respected myself and realized this doesn't look good. Why? It doesn't look good because the defense looks terrible. The midfield looks out of sorts. The offense looks worse. The manager doesn't trust half of his offensive subs, so nobody's coming out to help those guys. The only real defender Manchester United has is not fit enough.
Including one you bought. I want to be specific.
No. I'm talking about centre backs now.
No. I said he doesn't trust his offensive subs. I said including the ones he bought by himself.
Yes, he signed Gallo. He signed Gallo. He signed James.
Yeah, I want to put that out there.
Play them. Yeah. Bailey is the best defender he would have as a centre back in that club. He's always injured, most of the time. Manager wants to play out of the back. The keeper cannot kick the ball. The keeper cannot even pass the ball in the first place. He can't even kick it long. So if there's pressure, you can't change. So what I'm trying to say is that I found out that looking at this team, I should just look at the end of the season and see what happens. Because if I start trying to look at what will be or what might not be, I don't know. The Manchester United team I have seen is terrible. Really, really bad. The coach has regressed in the past few months. It now begins to look like maybe, and this is not me, because you would bear witness to the fact that I'm the guy that said top 4 is necessary.
Yeah.
But sometimes it feels like that thing when you say a win is a win, it might not always be a win. It looks like getting top four made this club go backwards. The owners thought, oh, they're good. We don't have to do much overhaul. Coach, they don't feel so much pressure. So he's just chilling. Because that's what it just feels like. The only people that are not chilling right now are the fans. Fans are not chilling. Fans are actually looking for who to fight. But the problem is they can't catch Woodward or Ole, to, give them a few slaps. So they're busy attacking each other on social media. And that's the other part of it that makes me feel worse is that the season looking forward, I feel like Manchester United are in a position where the next 1 week, if they don't sign players, which I actually don't believe they will, if they don't sign the kind of players.
I think they'll sign one just to keep fans happy. But again, it's going to be an underwhelming sign.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't sign Sancho, it doesn't matter.
If you don't sign Sancho now,
don't sign anybody. Don't sign anybody then.
And the fans are in a position where they will go, and keep throwing more fuel into this fire. The fans will make things worse for the club. They will attack the players on social media, they will attack the club, and it will keep getting to the stage that come to the end of this season, if something good is not happening on the pitch, the players will feel it. They will get dragged into it, the manager will get dragged into it. And it's just a season where I'm worried. I'm worried because the players of the club might not be, the right players might not be everywhere. Yes, there's an imbalance, 8 centre backs and only 2 strikers. Yes, that's an imbalance, but that does not mean that clubs like, Crystal Palace. I mean, to show you how bad Crystal Palace are, look at Crystal Palace next weekend. And yet they really beat Manchester United. It wasn't that they escaped. And then you see Brighton next weekend looking like Brighton. But Manchester United made them look like Barcelona. Oh, sorry, not Barcelona. Bayern now. Barcelona look like not Leeds. They look like Aston Villa now.
Yeah, Fulham.
But you get my point where, I'm laughing about it, but it's really, really sad that I actually hope this is the last time you guys bring me on to this podcast.
You are part of the team. No escape for you. No escape.
I mean, Buchi, you don't have to worry about anything. All I have to say is Ole is at the wheel.
The blind,
don't need to worry.
The only thing I can say about it it's called the blind leading the blind. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you the funny thing is, just because we have, I'll say, a sprinkle of very good players that have overwhelming talents, we're going to go on a run. We'll go on a run for a little bit. All the guys who are doggedly behind the manager and who cannot see beyond that are going to come out from the woodworks then and start, claiming victory, moral victory, and then to regress again. That's what's going to happen because this is going to be a season of injuries for all teams. So any team that doesn't have depth, like we don't, and any team that the coach is not going to maximize his resources like we do, is not going to have a very good season this season. That one, you can take that to the bank and cash it. Any team that doesn't have any of those 2 things is going to struggle this season because this is going to we are seeing it in all sports. We're seeing it in all sports. Basketball, NFL, this COVID thing and this break and this lack of it is going to come back to bite so many teams in the ass. So many teams, especially I can speak more of my team. Our medical and our fitness department is very, very questionable. We've had so many years of questionable injuries, not contact injuries that we call muscle-related injuries. We've had so many years, and this doesn't start with this manager. It's been ongoing from days of Alex Ferguson. And the only thing that took us there, like you said, was those were managers that knew how to maximize their resources. They used the whole squad, Now, so it's going to be interesting. I'm going to say that. So I'm not going to say I'm predicting doom and gloom. I just, unless something like you said, spectacular happens or miraculous recovery, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen this season.
Yeah, I mean, last season it was Bruno. Yeah. Bruno came in and changed everything. So
plus COVID.
Sancho can change everything.
Sancho, so I'm a big Sancho fan. Everybody knows that.
Maybe Josh King. Maybe Josh King.
Now you're thinking of this. It's not Josh King. If we sign Josh King, I'll put the riots. I went to the riots when we signed our brother, Uncle Gallo. And later on, I calmed down and I realized that, this is my brother. I'm happy for him. It's his dream, and he's a good guy. And he had some okay performances, but now everything has come to the fore. Now they're not playing the guy. You know, like the things that some of us saw when we saw that signing, I was just like, what is this signing about? Is this, are we going for that? Are we regressing? And people are like, oh, it's just an impact player. Okay. I didn't see anything. Now when it was time for the impact, nowhere to be found. Till today, Uncle Iggy, we can't find him. I'm hearing rumors, it says all of a sudden he's not training well. I'm like, interesting. When he was scoring goals, they were telling me that you can see the guys doing well. Now they say he's not training well. I'm like, okay. You know, it's just, it's one step forward, multiple steps backward.
Yeah, sorry.
You know, it's too early. People can say, oh, it's too early for doom and gloom. It's just, we've been here before. Manchester United fans, we've been here. Manchester are really paying attention to what's going on in the club, paying attention to root causes of our problems. We know that we've been here before. We were here under Mourinho. When we were getting excited, we came second. And some of us were like, there's something that's not going on here. Structurally, there's a lot of problems. We're not the second best team. There's a lot of things. People fail to listen. There are people that just want to do this cultic thing about managers. Make a manager, you know, a cult-like figure. It's the same thing that's going on right now, just in a different way now. With our current manager. The people that are doggedly backing him are turning into some kind of cult-like figure. Instead of just forgetting the fact that I was a player, just judge him based on what's going on.
But that's the advantage managers that are legends have. They get the benefit of the doubt. So people want to stick by them. People want to give them a chance. So Lampard, for example, I mean, they're going to give him a chance longer than...
Why did you not name Arteta?
Arteta is not really a legend. You know, he was a good player as a captain, but you can't really say Arteta is an Arsenal legend.
That's a fair point.
But Lampard is an Arsenal. Only is a Man U legend. So those are legends. So Arteta was a captain. He only played Arsenal for 5 years, and he probably won 1 or 2 FA Cups. I mean,
that's a fair point.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point about that. Why they do that? So that's all. So let me jump into Man City. Oh, Man City are suffering from poor recruitment of defenders. That's where we have to first start from. It's clear, it's obvious, because if your team gives up 3 penalties from very dumb, avoidable fouls, you now have to look at, okay, what is going on, right? The one-on-one defending is just terrible. Take out those 3 penalties, that game could have easily ended 2-2. 1-1. 3 dumb, very, very dumb penalties.
That's right.
For no reason, just pulling people that someone runs behind you, okay? Follow him. He might score, he might not score. You don't know. At least follow. Don't just make it. Don't take the chance from 30% to 80% by causing a penalty. You know, it's just dumb. So that's the one thing that we have to first look at. Pep and the club, their recruitment of defenders. The second thing we have to look at is the pressing. Man City's pressing is non-existent now. We have to call it spade a spade. It's non-existent. For so many years, when they were dominating, I said so many years, I take that back. For the first couple of years, when they were dominating, those 2-3 years, the one thing we knew about them was the tactical foul. Everyone was complaining about it before everyone people now adopted it, because other people started doing the tactical foul. But when the event started, everyone was complaining about it. The press, they press and get the ball from you, and 2, just how quickly the ball moves. The ball never sticks. It moves quickly. At least 2 of those 3 things are gone. The pressing is gone. The tactical fouling is pretty much, so they are too easy to get at down the middle. So with that one, you have to definitely look at the manager and say, okay, this thing looks like it's probably regressing. It might be too early to call. Maybe when their injured players come back, they go on a 15, 16 game run, which is possible. That they still have the system, the talent to do that. But right now, it just looks like this thing might be regressing. Because that's stretched for a while now. This has started from like last season. We got to Champions League. Everybody was like, oh, this is the best opportunity for Pep. Tournament football, no home and away. Everything lined up. He beats Real Madrid. It was like, oh, you know, the strongest team is out. The perennial winners. Lyon. Like, it looked like a pathway that everybody was just saying maybe Bayern can take them out, but this is Man City's pathway. Lyon beat them like quietly. That was a quiet victory. Like, they didn't pepper Lyon. It wasn't like they were missing chance after they had one chance. Okay, Sterling had that one chance. That's it. It was a quiet victory. Like, Lyon just took care of them, like, you know, like Lyon beat Marseille. That's how I felt. I felt like Lyon just beat Marseille. Very quick, easy victory. It's like, wait, what? what happened here? So, when you start seeing things like that continuously, and just all the way the Racing got that last season, like we beat them home and away, Even though who beat them away? Wolves beat them home and away. Chelsea, their croaky defense, beat them easily. Like too many teams just got at them and beat them. You guys beat them.
Even Arsenal beat them.
Arsenal beat them. The same old. Sit back and just break. Like the methodology to beat Man City has become too easy, and that means there's a problem. And I do not know if it's a problem, if it's something they can fix within this season and still make a title challenge. I know they will finish top 4. That one is not in doubt. I know they'll probably still finish second. Probably now it's shaking, but probably. But that title challenge, the way what I'm seeing at Liverpool, I just see that happening right now.
What I'll just point out for the Leicester game is that they had like 6 first-team players that were injured. Correct. So that's the only excuse I will give them because your 2 strikers are out. Correct. Bernardo Silva is not there. Gundogan is not there. Your Laporte is not there.
But I'll tell you the difference. Sorry to cut you off. I'll tell you the difference. This Man City team 3 years ago, that year that they won like 16, was it 14 of their last game, when them and Liverpool go neck and neck. Which you will know this, being a manager, they came to Old Trafford and rested like 6-7 starters. And they beat us. You know what they said? They beat us comfortably. Yes. It felt like a friendly. They beat us so comfortably. I was just like, and we were in the race for top 4. They beat us so comfortably. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, their intensity has dropped. There's no doubt about that. So that's the first problem. Once you've lost that intensity, then I mean, because I watched the game, they were not. It looked like they were not even pressing.
Correct.
Sterling looked like he was confused where it was supposed to be. Everybody just, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you still have to give them. A lot of players were injured, a lot of stuff going on. So once those players come back, I'm sure they'll be much better. They'll probably look a little stronger. Yeah. They probably will finish second or third, and they'll be fine. Do their thing. And
but that's not where they want to be.
No, Pep will leave at the end of the season, just refresh. He needs to go. So maybe he'll go to Abu Dhabi or something. I don't
know. PSG. Yeah, probably goes to PSG. Because I'm hearing rumors that they might fire Tuchel.
It's possible.
Leicester City. Let's just jump so I can touch everybody. Leicester City. Brendan Rodgers, maybe has left from last season. When it comes to Leicester and Brendan Rodgers, I'm always very careful to make long-term conclusions. But this just looks like they've finally gone over that downward trend that they were, where they capitulated last season, which was understandable. Like you said now that excuse of injuries, that one I can take that 100% for Leicester. Because Leicester, I mean, the difference from their first team to their second team is like, it's almost like it's pretty stark contrast, and they lost almost like all their defense, lost Madison, they lost 2 key players last season. Now that all these players are coming back, apart from Pereira, they sold Chilwell. It looks like Leicester is a phenomenon. I think we need to do like a podcast to investigate more on. Leicester feels like the type of team that will sell players and become better. I've never understood that thing about Leicester. Like they sold Maguire
and became better. And became better defensively.
For long stretches, like they look so good. Okay. Last season, they sold Chilwell, and it's too early, right? It's too early to call. But this Justin guy that's playing out of position,
the left back,
yeah, he looks kind of decent. I'm like, what's going on? It's pretty interesting. So I think kudos needs to go to Brendan Rodgers. He's a good coach. He might not be a great coach, but he's a good coach.
If I may, I'm not trying to take, I'm not trying to take praise away from him. He deserves praise, but I think it's more of a system than the coach. Because we're focusing on Leicester, but there's another team like Leicester actually in the Premier League, so that they don't have as much success, but they're actually very, very efficient at the same time. That's Southampton. They are probably the one club in the past 5 years that, if any of the big clubs went through what Southampton had gone through in the past 5 years, they will be down. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, they changed managers. They actually fire managers fast. Like, this guy doesn't fit fire. This guy doesn't fit fire. They sell their best players, get another player. Everybody's like, what's it called? Southampton. At the time, 2 years ago, when actually they were about to get relegated, and I was like, yeah, they deserve to get relegated. The club exists to make money for the owners. That's what I felt like. But look at the new coach, the new players, look at where they are. So I think Leicester might be another Southampton where they have a system where with or without Rodgers. Like, Rodgers is probably the best they've had since Ranieri. Yeah. But with or without Rodgers, that system would still work. Because this is a system that seems to be getting the cheaper players, the player from Atlanta, the Cinnamons, when nobody was going to take a punt on him, they went and got him. And then relatively, even though that's one of the most expensive buys, relatively compared to quality midfielders of his, of his quality, of his caliber, you would say he's cheap. So I just think that Leicester, they shop smart, but they're not the only one.
I think the recruitment departments, yeah, you're right. The recruitment departments is something you have to give kudos to, because before, I remember, and me and Buchi talked about this then, I thought it was their director of football, Walsh, and the guy left. And their recruitment has still continued the same trajectory. So I think as a club, their former owner has passed, RIP to
everything that could happen to
a well-structured club.
Everything that could happen to Leicester, because actually it's a similar story to the Southampton story, except that theirs is even worse.
Yeah.
Because Southampton has never gotten up to the top. They've just been bubbling. They fall almost to the bottom. So they've just been bubbling. Leicester won the league.
Correct.
Lost their best players, the best midfielder left. Lost other players in the team. They lost Mahrez, they lost Kante. Not Mahrez was not the best midfielder. It was Kante.
That's why I said their best forward, Mahrez.
Yes, they lost Mahrez. So now, gradually, what then happened was, with all these things, they kept having managers, and they sold some players. They fired some managers. But to make things worse, the owner died.
Correct. Yeah.
The owner actually died, and I point that out because in some other clubs, something like that happened. It was very hard to maintain. But this guy's son is maintaining the same thing, or whoever took over. I think it's his son that took over. Yeah, he's maintaining the same system. So the system is solid. This is a very solid system, and that's a club that if they actually break through, they might take Arsenal or Spurs place in the top six. So.
Talking about Spurs, let's talk about Chelsea first. Chelsea, real quick. Defensively, man, they look really horrible. I mean, yeah, they need to fix that. Maybe their new keeper will help a little bit, but those goals I saw, they are still conceding the same goals in transition against West Brom. 3 goals. I mean, everybody knows that going forward will never be a problem for them. Last season, going forward wasn't a problem for them. Now they've gotten more quality players. But going that other way, they need to fix that. I know it might take Thiago Silva some time, but when they got that guy, I was one of those that thought that Thiago Silva, 36, Premier League, pace, I don't know if it was going to be a good fit, but we'll see. Still early days, but yeah, Chelsea, defensively, that defense, if they don't fix that, they might drop more points than they should have, and they might be in that scrap, like Ovie has said. They might be in that scrap from 3rd to 9th, because now people like Everton, on a different podcast, we have to talk about like Everton, people like Leicester, Spurs.
Focus on Leicester, Everton, Spurs. Wolves.
Even Wolves is still there.
Yeah.
Still there.
You gotta give Arsenal in there too. I'll take Manchester United out for a little bit.
Come on, you can't take Man United.
Nah, I'm just joking. You put Manchester United into that. Those teams, I think, those are the teams that after the top. When the top is Chelsea, then after that the top is Man City and Liverpool. Then after that is Chelsea and Leicester City. I could say Leicester City is above a lot of teams. And then
they're top of table. I don't know.
Yeah, after guy, an elephant goes on. That's joke.
Hey, I'm not saying this. Remember, this is how they started in 2016. All of us were making that same comment. An elephant. Like play December. Leicester was still there.
Leicester not winning the league this season. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
But if they go and beat Liverpool very soon now.
I mean, the way it is all those teams, if you catch form, like the way Man U caught form last season, you can make top 4.
Yeah.
Between after the top 2, between the 3rd to the 9th or so, they're about the same. If you catch form, you can come top 4. As simple as that.
That's true. That's a good way to put it. So let's look at Golden Boot. Let's end with Golden Boot discussion. So who is going to be your Golden Boot? That's why we have 10 minutes left. Who is going to be your Golden Boot?
Me?
Yes, Ovie. Tell me your Golden Boot.
And why?
Why? I'm sorry, just a quick one.
Yeah, I'm an optimist. I believe Arsenal will improve their midfield.
So we are pessimists, right?
I can't speak for other people.
Okay.
All I can speak for, I believe Arsenal will. They've made enough the noises that they're going to improve the midfield. Okay. Once you improve that midfield, you create more chances for people like Aubameyang. He will score more goals. So, and he's a penalty taker too. So, I think on that front he'll be fine. The way they're giving penalties in the Premier League these days, you need to be a penalty taker to score more goals. So, I think I'll go for Aubameyang.
Okay, Buchi.
There's a guy who, for the past few years, is always there. You know, I call him a perennial guy. If he's not the top this year, second next year, or sorry, he's the top next year, or he's always there, top 3, top joint. And when he retires, maybe people will one day actually wake up and say this was one of the greatest strikers in the Premier League.
I agree.
His name is Jamie Vardy.
We overlook him too much.
Yeah. Today there was an argument going on Facebook, in the Facebook group, and they were going on about Vardy is better than Drogba. People were like, I want, basically it was like, this guy must be on drugs or whatever. That's why I laughing. Look, there are some parameters you can put in there that Vardy to ask most strikers, not just Drogba, but a lot of strikers in the Premier League. I mean, like for example, I'll tell you point blank now that I'm Manchester United fan, but I want to be very honest on football. Vardy is a better striker in the Premier League history than Ruud van Nistelrooy was. Which is weird for me to say. But it is. That's just me. Of course, people might go and look at the record, but the rate of scoring, the way he scores, the team he plays for, Vardy is, I don't know, I felt somebody love today, but that's my guy.
Okay, that's a valid love. I'm happy you said that. Because I can put my guy, RBN, in that conversation. Never do that.
I didn't say RTPO, I said RBN.
That's what I said, RBN, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Don't ever, RVP is not, I don't feel that passionate. RVP is their guy. I mean, he's our legend. We don't want to troll Arsenal guys.
No, Arsenal fans has disowned him.
Who are you talking about?
Van Persie. Arsenal fans have disowned him. Don't even mention him.
We don't even know. I don't even know who that is. So,
so mine is. I know I said something outrageous before. When we lost that recording, oh my God, I'm going to put this in there. I said to Mo I was just being outrageous for sure. I actually think highest goal scorer this season is going to be Mo Salah. That's what I think is going to be nice. There's going to be a lot of penalties this season. This ridiculous, we have to do an episode about this ridiculous handball rule. We have to definitely go talk about that at some point. Ridiculous handball rule. I think Mo Salah, Liverpool get up penalties. When Thiago gets back into the team, I feel like Keita will improve this season. Thiago getting back in the team. Jota now that people know that when Liverpool needs to win or score a lot of goals now, in some games, they can take Firmino off, they can carry Salah down the middle, they can take Jota to the right, they can switch. Because of that, I personally think, and it's sad to say this, but Liverpool are going to offer so many more problems to the team this season. So many more problems. And because of that, I think Salah scored a lot of goals without drooling too much on Salah. And I think there'll be a lot of penalties this season for everybody. I'd say Manchester, we love the penalties. That's why Manchester.
With your main man Fernandez.
Can I say something very funny?
Penalties are hard, man. Put respect on Fernandez name.
No,
put respect on Fernandez name.
No, but hold on.
Penalties are hard.
The last 5 goals.
Penalties are hard.
Out of his last 6 goals, 5 have been penalties. KDB. Vardy has scored how many penalties this season?
4.
3? 4. Actually, sorry, 4.
3. I think
3
or 4. 3. Scored 2 in the last match. They scored 1.
2, then 1 before.
So, I think he might have scored 2 in the first, but I'm not sure.
That's what I say. It's 4.
Yeah,
it
might be 4. He scored 2 in the first match.
Okay, so can we call him PenDB Vardy?
No, but the difference with Vardy is that he has 30 goals, maybe 10 with penalties, but Fernandez will have 15 goals, 10 at penalties. That's the difference.
Penalties are hard, man. You have got to.
That's the difference.
That's my guy, Bruno FC. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of our show. Stay tuned to the end. At the end of this, we have our EPL updates by Ola. You know, if you are into FPL, you're trying to win all as a champion. Ovie used to be a champion, but Ovie, just like his team and my team, we have regressed. We're not champions. That's why I ran away from FPL. And I'm not playing this year. I can't be listening to all these younger, upcoming guys that that will lead the way for they're coming to beat me in FPL. I can't take it anymore. So I ran away from FPL. I think Ovie is still playing, I think.
Yeah, I'm still. I had a rough start, but my experience will bring me back into the fold.
That's what you always do. It's your way. It's your way. You start wrong, you know. Second season, when it's squeaky bomb time, Ovie will rise.
Yeah, that's how it is. So no worries there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to always be here.
Yeah. I'll just be at the end of the pod. So, guys, ladies, everybody watching, thank you for joining us. It's always fun.
Welcome to another segment of Who's Hot and Who's Not. This is your Fantasy Premier League Roundup on the Footy Fantasy Podcast. So who's hot and who's not? Well, let's start with who's hot. Tariq Lamptey of Brighton. He has had 3 assists, an assist in each game Brighton have played this season. He's looking really hot. He's been playing wing back, so he's getting more chances to provide assists, driving into the box, winning penalties, setting up goals. And for 4.6 million, you can't go wrong. Tariq Lamptey is hot. Now, who's not hot? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Arsenal. Arsenal have not had a good time, lost to Liverpool in the last round, and Aubameyang has not scored since the opening day, and it's been sold in hundreds of thousands. His price has dropped to 11.9. He has only 1 goal this season. He's not hot, and also because Arsenal have a couple of tough fixtures coming up. So, if you're looking to downgrade, it's better to look for strikers who are banging in the goals. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is not hot. And now we're going into the final round of matches before the international break. So, it's the time to look for people who can get you points, who can push you up the tables. You can't go wrong with a couple of Manchester City players who will be looking to bounce back against Leeds United, especially with Gabriel Jesus injured. So Phil Foden might be a good option to have, a cheap option to have from Manchester City. And if you're also looking for cheaper options who are going to get you some points, you can also find someone from Everton, Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as we mentioned last week. You can also look at some of the fullbacks. Digne is not looking too bad. And also, if you're looking for teams which are in form, Leicester City. Leicester City are not looking too bad. Jamie Vardy is having a party and is scoring a lot of penalties. So, you never know. He might be top scorer again this season. Those are the players you'll be looking at, those who are in form at the moment. So, get ready for the final round of matches before the international break. And then you can plan and reassess after the 2-week break and see where you're at. So that's our latest edition of the FPL Roundup for the tips and strategy for who's out and who's not. Till we see you next time, have a good one.